All right, so to find VAB, so you first need to understand how these circuits are sort of combined together, correct? So when the current comes in here, okay, whatever current that comes in, you know that it splits into this and this. All right, then eventually it sort of combines together and then splits one more time. All right, so sometimes the way we draw the circuit might be confusing, so you can always redraw it in a way that you feel that, okay, you can see it clearly. So you can imagine that I come here and I have two resistors first. That means first is the 120 and 120. Okay, and this center line here is this line. All right. Okay, and then I have another resistor pair here, which is your 100 and 150. Okay, and then it combine here together. Okay, so you must look at it from the perspective of how the current is flowing and splitting. Okay, so when the current comes in from the top, it splits in the 120, 120, and then it sort of combines together. And then from that same branch, it splits again into 100 and 150. Okay, so you must analyze that these two will be parallel and these two will be parallel. Okay, so when these two are parallel and parallel, okay, what you'll be able to get is you'll be able to simplify it into two resistors, okay, which is 60 and 60. Okay, and then you will find that this is, okay, 5 volts. Okay, and this is 5 volts, that means this entire branch here is 5 volts. And since they are both parallel to each other, 100 and 150, so the same voltage appears across the 100 and 150 ohm. Okay, because anything in parallel is considered to have equal voltage. Okay, all right, so when you are analyzing the circuits, all right, make sure you understand the approach and the rules we are using. Okay, if you try to do some other approach, some other technique, and you get the correct answer, you may or may not be following the correct principles to get the answer. Okay, that means it just happened that because of the numbers and everything just fall in place and you get the answer, but maybe the approach is not exactly correct. Okay, so if you have other techniques that you want to use, okay, as long as you know that this is a proper technique that you know how to apply because you have learned it somewhere, then it's fine. Okay, so in this course we are teaching you some techniques, okay, to solve electric circuits, this kind of basic electronic circuits. Some of you may have learned other techniques as well, which is good. Okay, but when you apply your own technique, which is different from what we are trying, you must make sure that you are also doing it the proper way. Okay, if you're not sure, you can always discuss with me the next time on Thursday or another studio. All right, and then we will see whether your technique or your approach is still okay. Okay, is it possible to find the current flowing through the bridge? Okay, the current flowing through the bridge is basically the total current, all right? Because we know that the current, like if you look back at this bridge here is actually this point over here. Okay, so the current that flowing through the bridge is actually the total current that coming out of the supply. It's just that it splits first into two resistors and eventually it splits again into another two resistors. Okay, so A is basically the point after it combined after the first two resistors, and then B is again after the second two resistors. Okay, if there's a resistor on the bridge, then you cannot do it so easily already. You need to apply like node analysis or other things. Okay, so if you have some other resistor here, okay, in the center, then it is not so straightforward as to just as what we are doing here. We probably need to apply some other technique. Okay, either Thevenin's or node voltage or so on.